From my father's self-respect and from my mother's self-love.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. That don't sound like nothing that's helping you in a relationship. I ain't gonna lie to you. They taught you how to be a self-sustaining woman in the world.
Listen, if you're a good woman, you could be a good woman for a man, but that doesn't keep a man regardless. You could be a loyal.
Neither does self-love. When it comes to women, the first thing, oh, you got to work on yourself. Oh, you got to do this for yourself, and that's going to translate to relation. No. It's direct things that you can do for a man in a relationship, and we never hear it.
But men are raised to protect, provide, and do everything for a woman, and a woman is not raised to do it. You know, in our community.
What traits or what did you learn growing up that you think groomed you to be good for a relationship, or if anything?
To be honest. From my father's self-respect and from my mother's self-love, because my dad, he always been in my life and everything, but he always told me about self-respect, about guys, what their true intentions are and everything like that. We had them talks, you know, and with my mom, she taught me self-love because of the relationship she'd been through. She'd been through some toxic ones, and she'd been through abuse and everything like that. So, you know, that taught me not to tolerate that, not to settle for that, and also I love myself to not attract that as well.
It sounds like a lot of me. Self-love, self-respect, those are all fine and dandy, but have you been taught to actually love someone outwardly? How do you actually appreciate someone instead of just saying it's about me, me, me?
No, and everything like that. And both of my parents, like, even though they weren't together, they weren't married, but from learning from separate routes, taught me a lot within myself and what I want in a relationship, you know, and everything like that. So
yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. That don't sound like nothing that's helping you in a relationship. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right.
Listen, he's on to something. He's on to something, y'all.
They taught you how to be a self-sustaining woman in the world. No, I mean, that's individual stuff. As far as what you bring to a relationship, self-love and what you said, what?
Self-respect.
Self-care.
Self-respect. But no, not talking about what
anything that involves unless it's self-healing.
But listen, relationship though, through my experiences, I'm still learning. Because mind you, my parents, they weren't together when I was a kid.
And I get that. So that's why we said if you didn't learn anything, because I didn't really learn anything from my parents that to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
But self this and self that.
That's law of attraction. I don't know if y'all into that, but like what you are within yourself is what you want to attract.
That's not helping you keep a man though.
No, it doesn't. It's not even about keeping a man. It's about what you want in a man. Like,
but that's helping you being a good man.
The thing about it is, you said what you want in a man. Here's the thing about it: we are completely different. So the guidelines that you can provide for yourself is going to be very different for the guidelines that your guy will provide for him. Here's the thing about it: self-love and self-respect. Those are two things that both male and female are going to have to appreciate. But outside of that, there's going to be a lot of factors on how that relationship dynamic is going to work.
But that's also...
Because you're a straight woman, correct?
Huh?
You're a straight woman, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So helping you keep a man is helping you being a great mate.
Listen, if you're a good woman, you could be a good woman for a man, but that doesn't keep a man regardless. You could be a loyal...
Neither does self-love.
The definition of...
Self-love. No, hold on. Self-love brings you a lot within everything. Not even just relationships, within everything.
Yes.
So
personally, self-love is important.
Yeah. A good man or a good woman, that doesn't even keep the relationship together. It doesn't matter.
Right.
You have to heal what you've been through.
Right.
And that's
which
facts.
is why self-love, that's great for you as a person.
And for the partner.
How?
It is helpful to the partner, but it is not the be-all.
Right.
Because when you are concerned with yourself, you don't know how to be something for someone else.
Right.
Exactly.
That's
You so focused on yourself, can you be selfless? Because there's going to be things you're going to have to contend on to say that, you know what, I'm going to concede on that because you supersede me in this category or this area. I'm going to, I'm going to be quiet in this situation because you just going to be the better, you're my leader. Can you still give somebody peace by not talking and trying to supersede him? Regardless of how much you love yourself, you got to be a little selfless as well.
And selfish.
So the self is important because if you are not healed yourself, you cannot give to someone else.
Thank you.
But the point is of being a partner. That's why I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the Chris Rock, only women and children are unconditionally loved. So like even when you speak on your perspective.
Why have I been hearing that? Like every video I almost be reacted to, I've been hearing that same consistently. That's crazy.
that one person that had kids from outside, we all love the kids. It's no shade to the kids, but how can we show love to each other?
Exactly.
That's just another.
That's why I said what I said. That
I could honestly,
We love-
it's
we
nothing
love-
against you.
I
It's
agree.
just there's. I can sit here and say that my parents taught me what not to be. If I learned anything, it's what not to be. for my
100%.
partner. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I think a lot of us, you know, brown boys and brown girls need to be honest and say, like, yo, my fucking parents ain't teach me shit.
which is true.
You know what I'm saying? They loved me.
Yeah.
They taught me to be selfish because they teach us how to be
Survive.
independent, how to survive,
Yeah.
watch out from somebody, but they don't teach us how to pour into the right person.
Correct.
Love the
true.
right
Correct.
person. Give this person.
Correct.
You know what I'm
But that comes with that part right there with giving to other people, and all of that comes with healing, right? Healing
Oh
self.
my God, we're not going to equate self-love to giving to other people. That's not going to be the same thing, because you can love yourself and still not care about others who could be close to you. I just want to speak on this. My father, he didn't teach me anything when it comes down to being in a relationship. But one thing I will say that I learned and I use with my 2 eyes and my own visual prowess is to avoid the mistakes that he made in his life, because I don't want to go down that same path and road. Sometimes people don't have to instill things in you. Sometimes if you are intelligent, usually you can watch someone's mistakes or watch the life they live and say, you know what, I don't want to go down that route. And I felt like I did it with my father. The one thing he did teach me was definitely a hard work ethic, though.
That all of it
Exactly.
ties into each other, right? All of what we all saying
Yeah.
really ties into one thing. It's not one. There's no right answers, no
But
good
some
right.
people don't look at all of it.
That
They
is true.
stop-
You
they
know
stop
why?
right
Because
there
they
with what
stopped
they were
doing.
taught.
They stopped doing the work and doing the journey. Because
But they don't know the journey exists.
you don't
But
know
that's the thing.
because
Some people think like, okay, I'm healed. Like, how do you know if you're truly healed? How
Because
do you
they
know
don't
that?
understand what they need to, like.
when
we
it
have-
doesn't, when it
We
I-
have, and I'm not trying to say men are better than women at any point whatsoever, right? Don't take it as that. But men are raised to protect, provide, and do everything for a woman, and a woman is not raised to do it. You know, in our
Excuse me?
community, a woman because then most women are not. We just heard you guys, right? Y'all can't point out what you were taught and raised to.
I
do
mean,
for your partner.
I can't say specifically because there's a lot that I have to do for my partner, regardless of the fact. It's not one.
That doesn't
it's not,
answer what you were
but it's-
taught.
It's not one thing that I was taught. First of all, it's not one thing. I was taught a lot of things that's going to make me.
But you got to be able to tell us that.
I can
then.
tell you a lot of things. It's a lot.
But
But
we asked you.
you're right. But
Can't say anything.
We asked you
Yeah,
that.
it's not so
You
much
said
for
it's a
me.
lot of things. We asked
It
you
is
to name
a lot.
one thing.
Yeah, but my one thing may not be my best one to me.
Nobody-
Like that might
no,
not be
but
the
that,
best.
But that's still one thing.
Yeah, unconditional love is one important thing. That's
Unconditional love does not exist in the confines of just a normal relationship. Maybe your kids, pets, things like that can be unconditional. But when it comes to your significant other, whatnot, it's all gonna be conditional still. You can still love and appreciate that person, but guarantee you they start going off the deep end, or they start doing things out of the normal, and they stop being providing the safe space that you need to be in. You're going to possibly find another space. You might still have love for that person, but you ain't gonna be with them no more. Him or her.
important.
As a man,
Why? Because here's the thing.
it doesn't exist
Here's
for
the thing.
us.
Here's the thing. If somebody, true statement, somebody cheated on you, and you understood, not even understood why they cheated, but you listened to what was the cheating reason, and you said, you know what? Can we work on this? Or we can't. Can we fix it? Or we can't. You have the full control to say either I'm gonna work on it or I'm not. In a marriage, they do that.
Okay. What are we talking
They're gonna figure out, do I work on it or do I not? Do I leave the situation or do I not? But it's according to me. If I want to stay and work on it. Now, if I choose to stay and work on it, that means that I love you. I love you to want to work on it. Right or wrong?
It's still dependent on the fact if you actually are going to change, though. If you don't change, it's going to end. If you change, we're good. That's what she's not understanding. You go to counseling to try and fix it. That don't mean it's unconditional. Unconditional is if they don't fix it and you still stay there.
And that's
love, but I don't know if that's unconditional.
That has to do with everything has to do with commitment. Because if you haven't seen both of your parents as a kid work things out together or whatever, you would not know what to bring into relationship because you haven't seen that as a kid. You haven't really acknowledged that, seen that, whatever.
Our parents move on.
Yeah,
they get other partners.
Everything is learned based off what you've been
True.
learning.
Everybody's upbringing is totally different. You was raised one way, he was raised another.
If you haven't seen commitment in your life prior to your parents, you would not learn about commitment in a relationship. You might want to dead it as soon as somebody decides.
What if it wasn't my parents that had commitment? What if it was my brothers that showed me commitment?
Then you would be able to say, hey, my brother showed me how a woman is supposed to take care of him. That's why he's staying.
My parents?
Look,
then that's my answer right there.
But what I'm saying,
my mother and my father showed me.
Okay, but what I'm saying is you elaborate what you learn to say, I watched my mother feed my dad as soon as he come home 100%, from work.
100%, I sure did.
But that's what I'm saying.
To this day,
these are things.
Retired and all, and
I can tell you as a man, it's not only a woman's role to make a meal
100%.
or clean up.
It should go.
I can tell you as a man that I'm living that, right? And I watch my partner be tired as fuck. Yo, you know what? I'm going to handle this. Don't worry. So it doesn't just work with women just cooking and cleaning or whatever the case. It's a balance.
It is.
And for some relationships, it's easier for some to just sit down and be like, oh, we got a nanny or we got somebody cooking and cleaning.
Right,
yeah.
right.
And where I live in my crib, that doesn't exist. You know, but I didn't watch my parents. I watched my father be faithful to his wife. He had one.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know about, all I see is my mother have hatred for him. My mother never told me how I was supposed to treat a woman besides, make sure I'm paying bills. Women have
usually women don't really raise their sons to love a woman accordingly or understand and have boundaries with the woman. They usually project their feelings as to how they feel about men onto their sons, and they turn their sons either into mama's boys, simps, the whole nine. Like, yeah, it's really damaging if you only learning from your mom on how to love a woman, unless she actually helps you protect you from the dark side of women if she's very honest or whatnot. But usually that's gonna come with if she's in a healthy relationship with a guy at that point. And also, if your parents didn't teach you certain things, it's not up to the partner to like give you a pass for that. That's when you have to still put in the work. Nobody's gonna give you no pass or no sympathy because you weren't taught certain things in life. You're gonna have to try and overcome and figure those things out.
This agenda for other women to protect all women, but she never told me what a woman was supposed to do for me. Yeah. My mother had the mindset, you have to do for this woman, but she never told me what that woman had to do for me.
But why she didn't?
So that made you very selfish.
Why she didn't tell you that?
I'm the opposite. I want to be anything like her or my father. You get what I'm saying? I'm a man that's there for all of my kids. I cook, I clean, I provide. I'm an asset. I'm reliable. I'm there, and that's exactly what I didn't see. So that's when I say I learned from what not to be.
Yeah. But what you did was you did the work for self.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the thing. Like what Luna was saying, like when you do the work on self, you able to love somebody else the way you want to be loved too.
And respect.
You got to do the work on you. And now I can see where your hiccups are. Let me show you how to do that over here. Let me show you how to do it. I wouldn't say we as women is the cleanup women because that's not what it is. But I feel like if I can work on myself and I can see where you need some work to be done, come on, let me show you a little bit. Have you ever did healing before? No, I never did that. Have you ever walked
Women acknowledge that they got superpowers to heal me.
I wouldn't say we have superpowers. I feel like we tap into, so like you said, men are supposed to provide. Your focus is providing. Your focus is giving. Your focus is protecting. You are focused on those main things that you're forgetting to heal self. So when you have not sat down with maybe me or whoever to be like, what's up with you?
No, I think what happens after that, after a while, is guys try and stick to their roles, but women are constantly trying to change men and turn them into something else, opposed to letting your own feminine energy and your great personality and your great being change that man. You end up trying to supersede that, and then you try and jump down his throat, and you try and change him by just telling him what to do, telling him how to be, opposed to him actually going through the journey and continuing to be a man. That I think that's where one of the biggest disconnects come from, is women think they can supersede just the ability of a guy being a guy.
then you got to learn how to communicate, because if you don't know how to communicate how you feel and speak on it, then how are we going to get through some of the hiccups that you got? Because you don't even know how to talk. You don't even know how to verbally communicate and say how you feel. No. Why? Because nobody sat there and talked to you and said, talk about it. They always told you what to do. Parents always tell us what to do and not teach us how to talk about
because
how
of their trauma.
Correct. And we also gotta recognize that
communication, because like, all right, boom, like if someone is upset about something within themselves and you're like, hey babe, what's wrong with you? And they don't feel like talking, it's like they don't know how to express it or communicate that, because it's an emotion they can't even really like elaborate on, because it's like
true.
And then when you tell them like what's going on, the other person like, what you mean? I can't understand you, because it's all about the expression of it. So it's like, even with women, like, you know, we feel certain things, and then when y'all men be like, oh, what's wrong? And it's like, we don't want to talk right now. It's like an emotion we got to express on. And it's like, it's I want to say it's easy for y'all to take in, but it's like, that's something like communication has to be based on, because it's all about patience. Like, if y'all don't have patience, then we ain't going to have patience. If we don't have patience, then y'all ain't going to have patience. So, you know, like.
Yeah. I think what a disconnect comes from is, when it comes to men being great partners in a relationship, the rules is set in stone. Like, you know exactly what you got to do to make a woman happy. You got to provide for her, you got to protect her, and you got to help her out, make her life easier, right? Mm-hmm. Simple, direct. When it comes to women, the first thing, oh, you got to work on yourself. Oh, you got to do this for yourself, and that's going to translate to relation. No, it's direct things that you can do for a man in a relationship, and we never hear it. Every time we ask this question, we ask women of all ages, young, mid-age. He even asked our moms on one episode. Yeah. They still telling, oh, yeah, I tell my daughter to work on herself. And I
feel like that's crazy. He just said they even asked their moms, and their mom said the same thing. I think a large majority of women just don't understand men. We are very simple. Like, he laid out how we view it. I think majority of men view it the exact same way when it comes down to getting a relationship. But majority of women will tell you a bunch of different things. And guess what? It's going to come from selfish places. Just like the woman just said, self-love and self-respect. For sure, I think all human beings should have those, but damn, that's the only thing you're thinking about when it comes down to getting in a relationship with somebody else, is the things that you need to improve on for yourself still. That's very selfish.
No. Make that man a plate when he come home from work. Suck his...
Oh, shit.
Simple.
Bring that out.
It's simple shit. Like, yo, it's simple. A man, we always hear men as simple creatures. But when it comes to, how do you please a man?
Yeah,
it's never a simple answer.
They simple to a certain extent, though.
But it's never a simple answer.
Y'all are simple to a certain extent.
A man is never satisfied. Facts.
I feel like a man gets. I feel like a man gets comfortable.
A man is never
as long as you show him A, B, C, D. Okay, I could cook. I could clean. I could.
She was saying that a man is never satisfied, but have you opened the door up to make him be satisfied, or what really makes him satisfied? Have you really tried to unlock his mind to be the ultimate feminine being that you are, to make your man feel like he's in the best space possible, opposed to you just tolerating him? See, that's one thing women don't really ask, because they just only want to give the surface level, and they never want to dive deep, but they want guys to go above and beyond to unlock their Rubik's Cube.
That does not
do whatever it is that you ask me to do. If I could listen,
be pleasant, not have an attitude on the fucking top for no reason.
Here's the thing, though. You got some men that one thing. You got some men that don't care about nothing about none of that.
What man you don't want an attitude for no fucking reason?
I wouldn't say an attitude, but some men was raised around women who argue all the time, so now they look for an arguing, yelling woman.
Yeah, and they not healed. They're not built. They're not built for strong relationships.
Just like men are saying that we're no longer attracted to those women that possess that energy.
Correct.
There's a lot more women.
I don't think anybody should be attracted to that energy on both sides, male or female. If you're dealing with somebody who's constantly arguing, yelling, fussing, and fighting, that's stress on the body. First of all, we bring stress on our body, number one. If you don't know how the body operates and what goes on in the body, like when people have heart attacks and different things like that and have all type of sickness, is because you're carrying things. When you don't release it, when you do not release, you're carrying all this weight. You may carry something from a last relationship into a new relationship and thought you was good moving forward, but the whole time you still ain't heal from that.
Energies.
You didn't heal from that because it's stuck in your body. If you don't really, if you don't know how a body operate, then what you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to heal, like they say, from inside out. But it starts with you actually knowing what's going on and being conscious and aware of what's happening. Being honest with yourself. If that's a trauma and a trigger for you, identify it and let's work on that.
But some men, Well, some men don't want to
Somewhat.
tap into that, spirituality.
It's
You know
both.
why?
I don't even think
I
that's
think
a
it's
sex
both.
thing.
I don't think it's
Men
I don't
and
think
women
it's,
ignore
Yeah, I think
healing.
it's both.
Most men, I feel like women,
Every-
they just don't have the
You're thinking from a
knowledge
perspective of-
and the guidance for that.
Yeah, I think
No, I think women just don't want to be in it. I think it sounds good for women to say like, "Oh yeah, I want a God-fearing man." Man, I know chicks to this day that preach church, everything like that. They get busted down and they go repent or whatnot, and they recycle the process over again. It's scary. It's demonic when you really think about it. But a lot of them don't really try and like they don't really want church guys. They still want guys that's gonna give them on a roller coaster or whatnot. Don't get me wrong. Some out there actually are in it, but for the large majority, they just saying it.
we ignore each other because you can look from a woman perspective to see that you've seen a lot of hurt men. Just like I can say I've seen a lot of hurt women. We thinking from the opposite of what I experienced. You date men and I date women. So of course we're each going to be able to point out that. But I think it happens that a lot of people don't want to affect their trauma or
They don't
question
want
their
to.
trauma.
They don't want to put the key in and unlock.
I'd rather blame you than fix myself. That's what a lot of the shit is.
That's true.
Also,
fair.
you said cheating equals forgiving for cheating equals unconditional love.
I didn't say equal.
But
I didn't say equal
but
unconditional
that was
love.
the example you gave.
I'm saying that's a sign of unconditional love. That's not
I
equal.
don't think it is.
Will you take somebody back after they cheat though? Like
I have.
No, that's you weighing your options. That's not unconditional love. You understand that you possibly see y'all more designed to stay than guys are. You don't get me wrong. Some guys that might stay through it, but for women on the other hand, y'all are gonna be more soul connected to that guy, and you already know that you don't want to go out there and restart back over again and reset body counts and the whole nine if you feel like you got a good guy. And then you got some who give it a few times. You got some who stay forever still because they don't want to get back on the market. So we are very different, but that's still not considered unconditional love. You're still staying based upon the conditions of the situation that you are in.
I've been
Oh,
together for a long, long
I
We
have.
had women on the show said that as long as he got the bag, he could cheat if he want to.
I heard that
Like,
too.
I mean, the
conditions.
bag is unconditional.
Bag don't mean shit.
I don't
Yeah,
think
because
cheating
guess
is
what? That
unconditional.
woman was
Exactly.
raised by who that told her what?
No,
Nah, I'm not.
Oh,
staying.
okay.
Nah,
you're not staying.
nah, dub.
The bag is
Ever-
nice.
If y'all not
Also-
staying for the
my
money,
own bag.
So
Fuck that shit.
you can't. So you don't love unconditionally, is what you're saying?
No, I love unconditionally, but cheating though, like, why am I? All right,
the disrespect, the hurt.
that's
Yeah.
disrespect.
The disrespect
And
is
I feel
high.
my dad showing me like self-respect because it's like if somebody cheats, they aware of what they're doing. I don't care what nobody say. They're aware of it.
Mm-hmm. Nah. We
Are
fully
they
agree
aware?
with you.
Nah, I'm joking.
If you get cheated
You're
on,
aware when you cheat. Fuck
yeah.
that
If you get
shit.
cheated on, you
Yeah,
got
that
it,
is
you know
true.
what I'm
You're aware when you cheat.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
All right, y'all. Let me get to this.
We're gonna leave it at that. Yeah, with the whole cheating part, like I said, that's gonna be dependent upon what type of situation that you are in. Now, I'm not condoning cheating, but at the same time, most dudes are faithful to their options, and we understand the dynamics between men and women. Men usually have a proclivity to possibly want to cheat. Eventually, it's usually happening on the man's side. A little bit more on the woman's side. Women definitely have it in them as well to cheat. But we all know the dynamics. Usually women stay through it, and they usually, if they find a guy that they really like, they don't even want to rattle those feathers up. Opposed to a guy can have a chick that he really loves, and he still might go dibble and dabble possibly. He still might love her more. So it really all depends. But just the premise of the video with the whole self-love and self-respect part, I do think a lot of parents don't teach kids on how to love properly or how to get in relationships. We really just kind of watch and we kind of see and navigate. So I think that's probably why we need to see better family structures, because we are very visual learners just as well as ear learners. But usually we're more visual than ear learners. You can tell somebody something, might go on one and out the other, but if they see something and they kind of they lie themselves into it, it sticks a little bit different when we actually see it. So I think that's why sometimes we need to show people more family structures, man and woman together relationships, even seeing a few, I don't want to say arguments, but disagreements or whatnot, and then seeing the resolutions to it. That's also healthy as well, because just like you see the good times, you need to see the bad times as well. I don't need to have my kids growing up in a fairy tale reality. I want them to still understand the real, that this is the possibility of what might possibly can happen in a situation. You gonna argue possibly. You might have a disagreement or whatnot, but the key is, can we recover in a healthy manner, opposed to just not showing how that's supposed to even look. So, like I said, this is a duality-based system. You cannot have one without the other. You can't have good without bad. light without dark. So just as you have those good moments, you have to have those bad moments too. It just has to be done in a healthy way to where the young one doesn't consume themselves with the wrong side too much. But I'll make sure I had this link in the description. I want to get y'all thoughts on this. I thought this was a pretty good clip or whatnot. It just shows you, man, like we just very different between men and women. I don't care what nobody say. They can say we the same. We think very logically different. We just don't think the same. We view things completely just on a completely different spectrum. We are more logical than them, just being honest. Women still have a great, perspective in, the categories that is meant for, but when it comes down to just logic thinking, we just do it a little bit differently. But let me get y'all thoughts on the video. Make sure y'all comment, like, subscribe to the channel. This is your guy JayBReacts, and until next time, y'all, peace.